Right, we'll just do this. No, no, let's do that. Is that good? No. Uh, this is I'm. Perfect. Hi. How's everyone doing? I I clicked on the wrong buttons when setting up the stream just before when it was going live. I was late because I was watching Star Citizen live. I'm really sorry. I was just clicking a load of random stuff. Oh, oh, sorry about that. It's well, I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. Thank you very much. Very much appreciate Skylark for the sub. Yeah, mate. Oh, I'm bad at clicking stuff. Apparently, that's why I'm so bad at Apex Legends. It's clicking stuff, all going wrong. So, um, CitizenCon 2020 is on the 10th of October in the LA Convention Center. Let me go to the website again and have a look because I don't have it up on my screen because I am a scrub nub. Let's bring this up on screen. So CitizenCon 2950, so 2020, 10th of October 2020 at the Los Angeles Convention Center. This is a massive venue. Jared said it was going to be the biggest CitizenCon they've ever had, and he said make of that what you will. So the expectation for me there is that it's going to be Squadron 42 type release, big things in the work, that sort of stuff. Oh, thank you very much, Jake Alvin. Very much appreciated. I'll press the thank button, and then I'll click on send thanks. The 238 days for CitizenCon. I will not be attending. Well, I think it's very unlikely I'll attend. I don't like travelling that sort of far. I can get better coverage from home as well for that sort of event as well, rather than being there and not being around my equipment. When it's in the UK or potentially like in Europe, I'll try and go to CitizenCon where sensible. But we'll certainly have a load of coverage of the event, but it's a long time away. I mean, I might go, but it's unlikely. It's unlikely. So bear that in mind. But yes, that's very exciting for me. Looking forward to CitizenCon. It's the highlight of the year, but we've just had one effectively. So yeah. No. So the UK is still part of Europe. It's no longer part of the European Union. It didn't get little thruster jets when Brexit happened and like thrust away from Europe, like up into a sky castle or something. It's not a land in the sky, as much as some people probably want it to be. Right, so let's show some of this stuff off. We've got some of the Carrack pictures. So this is the final art on the Carrack. You can see it's got like the cargo pods here. Apparently this section was inspired by the Galactica, Battlestar Galactica. Sort of like the spine that runs across the ship. They sort of like wanted to have that influence here. Looking forward to seeing what we can change these cargo pods into, if anything, or if they're just like deployable like the saddlebags. We've got the updated rear engines of the Carrack as well. Awesome. So they've got the same shapeology as the concepts and the original, but they've also incorporated the round engine language from Anvil. I think some people would want them sort of like really big, beefy, orange flames coming out. So I think we're still going to get the blue engines, but we'll have to wait and see, I suppose. The mapping room, I hope this... so this is like the mapping room, I think, is the best term for it. I think a lot of people will want this to look a lot better later. But I'd love to go into a room and sort of like plan where we're going in a system or whatever, charting courses. I think that's cool. What else have we got? Some corridors. More corridors with, I assume, either escape pods or places where you put your suits. Turret access, I suspect. some of the gantries and gangways and connecting areas. What I believe is a repair room. So you've got this area here. What else have we got? More of the connecting areas. We know that the medical bay is going to have sort of like a little cut-off area. More of what I believe is a turret. Some of the like gangways and gantries. One of the turrets from the outside. One of the turrets from the inside. Again, I think this is part of the repair room. I think you might like repair components in there, maybe? Question mark? Don't know what that is. Oh no, that's the gangway, the gantry of the gangway. So this is probably the cargo pod. More of the connecting corridors. Sort of like more communal bathrooms. I think there's potentially 2 of these large communal bathrooms, maybe. Might not be, might only be 1. Is this like an armory room? Yeah, this looks like an armory room. More connections. Oh no, maybe it was just the one bathroom I saw from a different angle. Okay. Yeah, probably one bathroom from a different angle. Okay. I'm looking forward to when we actually have proper reflections in the game rather than the sort of pre-baked ones. Again, another angle on that, what I believe is a repair room. Got part of the crew berth here. Actually, that's an armory room, might be part of that. Another shot of the gangway, which I believe is in the cargo pods. Little connection areas. Very much looking forward to the Carrack. We should be getting that within the next couple of weeks. The 3.8.2 patch is on the PT at the moment. Let me drop that in there and put it in here as well. Apologies for people that are coming in from my advertised live stream to this one, but I clicked on all the wrong buttons because I am a monster. Apologies. But yeah, very, very excited for that Carrack. I know it's not going to have any like new gameplay with it when it comes in, but it is a very capable multi-role ship that I think is going to be very fun to play in, and is going to be not sort of like you're not going to be running around it for hours and hours and hours being lost. It's sort of like smartly compact. If you'd like to ask a question in brackets, I will try and get through everyone's questions throughout the stream. What else have we got that I wanted to talk about? So there are some deadlocks in the PTU at the moment, so the test servers. They are testing long-term persistence at the moment, which is the platform persistence that we've wanted for ages, which will have your Alpha UEC and purchases, even after database wipes, persisting between patches. That is the idea. They will still wipe that occasionally, but it's going to happen much less often, which is an awesome thing. Now, if that's true, and they don't just keep on wiping it every 3 months, I will be incredibly happy. Even if we get 6 to 9 months without a wipe at a time, oh, how good will that be? There'll be reasons to grind. What else have we got? We got some Valentine's Day stuff. There's a Valentine's Day screenshot competition going on at the moment until the 18th. You've got to have like a little heart in all your screenshots. We've got some of the ships on sale. We've got 300i. We've got the Tumble Cyclone. We've got Hornet Heartseeker. I mean, yeah, for all of them, the Heartseeker, yeah, it's just a loadout, although I do have one myself because I'm an idiot. The Mercury Star Runner is probably the big boy here. I've got VAT included in all these prices, 20% extra because I'm in the UK and because people hate us. But the Mercury Star Runner being on sale is pretty cool. And if it wants to load up, we've got the Warbond version for upgrade to $200 for that upgrade. And if you want to do it on store credit, it's $225, which is pretty pricey, but cool ship. I know a lot of people want that, and it will be in game for 4.1 is the current plan. Later on today, we are going to be getting a roadmap update for the 4.1 roadmap, so Q3 2020. I'm not sure how meaty it's going to be. I'm not sure if we're going to see some changes to 3.9 or 4.0 as well. Be welcome, as long as there's no removals from 3.9. They should have been locked in everything by now as well. So whatever they say about 3.9 this week, sort of like for sure, is what we should have for 3.9. At least that's my understanding of it. So is there anything else I wanted to talk about news-wise? They've done a load of fixes in 3.8.2 as well. There's no Carrack yet in 3.8.2. Should be coming in the near future. Lots and lots of ship fixes and bug fixes and crash fixes. We saw them work on the prisons, the boxing ring, the jumpsuits. They've been working on some of the new shaders tech for organic shaders that we're going to see on planets very soon. Part of the V4 planet tech, basically. Sort of like updated a little there. And they're going to keep on improving and updating that planetary tech. Yeah, so... Oh, we saw some sort of like data leaked missions as well. Data mined missions. So, Price of Freedom, sort of like a intercept a prison ship, which I'm assuming it would be a caterpillar at the moment. And then you have to take out the guards for that ship. The ship's already been disabled when you get there, I think, is the idea. Then you take out the guards there, get on board the ship, take out the FPS guards, and then use data pads to work out what prisoners you need to release. You sort of like, it tells you the name of the prisoner and what pod they're in. So I quite like that, and there was like a bonus to kill one of the criminals in one of the pods because he got everyone caught. And we also saw the new flare for this month, which is some basically ski jackets. I was like, I like cool, unique flair. Not too much into just little bits of clothing, to be honest. But some people might like that stuff. I mean, obviously, temperature is important in 3.9, and this clothing has thermal protection, cold protection at heart. Thermal protection, cold protection. You know what I mean? Probably not thermal protection. Probably make you hotter when you don't want to be hot. If you're in the pyro system on a hot planet, probably don't want to be wearing a nice hot jacket. Yeah? I'm going to turn my headset down slightly. What else have we got? We don't have an update on the Crytek lawsuit yet. We are waiting. I think it's the 21st of February. We should know what's happened with Crytek's lawsuit now. It looked like the parties might be attempting to settle, which is good. Potentially good, anyway. We will find out as much as we can with that. Anything else? We just had a Star Citizen Live where they talked about a little bit about the Carrack, but a large amount about the Mercury Star Runner in sort of like concept phases and the sort of like how they built it into concept. Nothing super tangible information-wise about the ships, though. Yeah, I think that's all I wanted to talk about news-wise. Obviously, this week was a billion times better. Like, a near infinite amount. I hate the term near infinite, but I'm going to use it. A near infinite amount better than last week's video and content offerings from CIG. Although the concept stuff they showed today in Star Citizen Live wasn't anything like super tangible for new stuff or stuff that's going to be used in game, it was still very interesting, and it sort of like showed off the development processes and stuff for ships and things that people are interested in, and they talked a bit about that, and that was pretty cool. But Inside Star Citizen this week was great, and some of the sneak peeks, and obviously we had some sales and stuff. No concepts yet as of mid-February, which I find a bit weird. Typically mid-February we have the first concept ship of the year. Maybe there's going to be one in the next couple of weeks. Maybe they're holding on to something straight to flyable for 3.9, although I would expect that they would want to do a concept ship now, or vehicle now, and then 6 weeks later when 3.9 comes out, a straight to flyable ship then as well. But I suppose we'll have to wait and see. Let's have a look at what people are saying question-wise. Are you going to CitizenCon? Probably not this year. I might attend a watch party event, or maybe set up my own, or do something just online and cover the event as best I can. So Sarah did a great job with the Carrack. Yeah, she did a great job talking about that stuff. She's nice and confident when talking on live stream, which was good. So Star Citizen and I talked a little bit about the engines. They said they're using the same shapeology as the original concept. So let me show you those Carrack engines again. So you see these engines. They've got the same shape now around the engines that the original concept did. Sort of like as a nice middle ground. I quite like it, but we'll have to wait and see when it's in our hands. But I'm glad they've made some changes to it. Hopefully that will make people a bit better. Sort of like, well, a lot of people were angry that, well, a lot of people wanted the original concept, big, giant orange engines, what was the main reason people wanted to leave the EU? It's going to be different for everyone, just like all political decisions. Everyone's an individual. People were sold on Brexit on a lot of different things. Some of it's just taking back control of the country and laws, so they have more control. Some of it's a longer-term, better financial sort of like situation for the country, potentially. Although we had a pretty good deal in Europe, and it would have been if it was my decision entirely, I would have gone, well, let's stay in Europe and leverage our position better. Let's be really annoying to Europe and just get the best deals we can constantly. Because we had a pretty good deal. I think we had the best of all the countries in Europe. It might not have been the best solution for us long term for laws and stuff. I mean, one of the great things about Brexit I can think of is that we're not using the sort of like censorship internet laws and Article 11, Article 13. We are ignoring those articles, which is fantastic. That's fantastic news. But that's about as political as I'll get. I'll describe the good and bad points of whatever. I'm pretty politically neutral when it comes to things like that. When I talk about them, I'm very aware that everyone has a different political affiliation and understanding, and I'm okay with that. I think as long as you're civil for when you talk about things, you should be able to talk about anything. However, this is typically a Star Citizen channel. I don't want to get bogged down in politics. I know a lot of it's polarizing to people. When do you think we'll see ship armor lockers working? So, physicalized inventories are something they should be working on this year. It potentially could be in 4.1, but I would expect to see it this year. Physicalized components, physicalized inventories, the physical damage system, all of that, the physical trifecta, and the functionality of armories, armor lockers, clothing lockers, that sort of stuff, I would expect to all see this year. What is the percentage likelihood the Star Runner will be released in 4.1? So, expect roadmaps to be a little more stable from now on, because of staggered development and because CIG are aware that they need to be more accurate with them. That's not going to have all features always in the roadmaps. I just think that CIG are probably going to try and meet these a lot more reasonably. They're not going to have like quite aggressive roadmaps. They're going to scale that back so it's showing stuff that is much more likely to be in there. That's my opinion. I couldn't give you a percentage chance. Well, I could, actually. 80% they are. What 3.8.x bug has affected you the most? Desync. We need desync addressed. It's a multiplayer game. I want to be able to play with a group without problems and seeing them jump around and do weird stuff. Guesstimate for when the Carrack will hit the PTU. Next week. Next Friday. That'll be my guesstimate. Yeah, let's have a look. What else we got? Oh, Robert Johnston. Jesus Christ, man. I didn't even see your money. Oh, message. Sorry. My money. Did I say money? I meant message. I meant money. Thanks for the money. Robert Johnston. Hello, my favourite dyslexic pie bowler. I am dyslexic. That is true. Thank you so much. You literally could fund my channel by yourself, it seems. Very much appreciated. Oh, I fucking love you. Mwah. Originally, Robert Johnson used to pay me $100 just to tell me to fuck off. Now he pays me $100 to... I don't know. I appreciate you, though. You are one of my favourite people. Because I literally value everyone financially. No. No. Thank you so much. You're a fucking legend. Oh. You star. Why? Oh. So, my YouTube filter sort of like, my stream filter just picks up anything that it thinks could be a rude word now. They've been tweaking it internally to sort of like make it more and more sensitive, I think. So apologies if your message doesn't get through. I can still see it, even if you can't see it on the screen, if you see what I mean. Another question, looking good, bored, staying in shape. So yesterday, I was a little naughty. Had half a bottle of wine. And yeah, so, I mean, that's probably, it's red wine, maybe it's not that naughty. Today, I've been a little naughty with my food. So, I got up at 6 a.m, so typically I wouldn't get up until like 9. But I got up at 6, and I was really fucking hungry. I think it's because I drank the day before. I was playing board games until like 1 in the morning. So I had half a steak, like 4 ounces of steak, and some and a jacket potato, and I've just had some chili, and some quinoa. So like, I'm trying to eat well and healthily. Today I've eaten a little bit more than I would want to. I try to keep it under 1,200 calories at the moment because I am trying to lose weight relatively rapidly, and also do some like a little bit of lifting, a little bit of cardio. I'm just trying to sort out my cholesterol, trying to live like another 10 to 15 years longer than I'm supposed to. I don't want to die of like heart disease or super high cholesterol or something that's avoidable. I don't want to die, really. Maybe we'll live in a society where I can like regenerate my cells like a salamander or something. Do salamanders do that? Who knows? I'm going to be spliced with salamander DNA, whatever. It's my dream. Hey, Bored. I hope you're doing well. Been watching you for a while. I have my own tech channel with almost 6,000 subs. Do you remember when you were that low, and any advice from your experience? Keep at it. Keep looking at your metrics. Keep looking at other people that you consider doing similar content to you, and steal their ideas. It's not stealing their ideas, it's being inspired by them. You know what I mean? Just keep on doing research, keep on doing what you're doing, and just keep on at it. Obviously, there's some stuff based on whatever niche you've got that you can evolve. Try and find your niche a bit better. Even if you're like, oh, it's slow, taking me ages to grow, you're still getting there, and you're able to get into a position where you're able to learn your trade a lot better. Take it as sort of like you're training to be a good YouTuber and good editor and a good whatever you're trying to do as your specific niche. And then just keep on working at it. Persistence and constant content is what I would suggest. And don't underestimate keywords, descriptions and thumbnails. Titles, descriptions, thumbnails. Get really good at doing them. Make sure that you're allowed to use clickbait in titles as long as it is accurate to the content of the video. That is your goal, to make the most clickbaity title that is perfectly accurate to the content of the video. So people click on it knowing that that is what is in the video. The most enticing title as possible that tells people this is what is in the video. Can't stress that enough, because clickbait isn't a bad thing inherently. People being incorrect with their titles and thumbnails, that is the problem. Going, this isn't what I expected to see. I've clicked on this because what? That's bad clickbait. And capitalization words for drama. Yeah, I mean, I'm not sure if you're being sarcastic or not, but it's true. I mean, it works. I hate clicking on a video and going, this is not what I expected. That's really, really annoying. And I've experimented with different titles and what to put in a title. You don't necessarily need to put the full description of everything that's in the video, as long as it's reflective to the most part, and then you can use the description and potentially the thumbnail to describe what else is in the video. Maybe it depends on what topics you're covering, because you can have sort of like just miniature topics at the end. If you're doing news, then you just have to put like the headlines into the title, things like that. I'm going to Baby Metal next weekend, so there's going to be some disruption to service. Oh, that's going to be the weekend of the Carrack, isn't it? we'll have to Carrack when I get back, I suppose. I mean, Carrack might not be out. It might be an Evocati. Let's hope it's Evocati. No one would want it to be an Evocati. And the only time I would want it to be an Evocati, so I wouldn't be able to cover it anyway. Oh, how annoying. Oh well. I think we're a little bit worried about the coronavirus. I'm worried about spreading it to my, anxiously getting it without knowing and spreading it to my parents who are very old, and my dad, obviously. I don't want to give it to my dad, especially. I mean, it's very unlikely that I would get it. There's things. I'm bipolar. I've got anxiety problems, sort of thing. I worry about the planes crashing anytime I get a plane as well. Going up to Manchester on next Friday. You don't need to lose weight, man. No, but okay. So I kind of do. So I would like to lose another sort of 20 pounds, and then sort of just get a bit healthy in shape. My diet's reasonably good now. Low saturated fats. I'm eating pretty healthy. I'm eating the right foods, like nuts and things as well, like that. I'm not having anything fried. I'm not having any sugar really. It's just good for you. I just want to, because I'm not. I'm reasonably sedentary. I want to be able to be as healthy as I can. But I appreciate that I don't need to lose weight, but I sort of want to. It is likely to increase my lifespan. Nothing wrong with dyslexia? Yeah, it's just a different way your brain works. I'm much more geared towards sort of running your own businesses, I suppose, is what dyslexic people, they're very good at understanding stuff in their own way. I suppose that's literally what dyslexia is, though. You learn differently to the norm. End of September for 4.1. Probably. It will either be end of September or CitizenCon on the 10th of October. Sometimes they hold that patch back for CitizenCon. I am really looking forward to the Mercury Star Run now. I'm not sure if I've got one. I probably have one. What have we got here from you, Jaybird? I wanted to see the big copper teach shield plates around the engines. Fingers crossed, CIG keeps the very old promise of mod support. I think we'll see mod support for the game eventually, but that's going to be in the far future. We're talking years. Robert Johnson, off to bed now. Keep the noise down and feck off. Thank you so much, sir. Very much appreciated. Gives me money, you see, to tell me to feck off. You could all learn from him. What else have we got here? Yeah, so in the February sort of sale, Valentine's Day sale stuff, that's when they announced that the Mercury Star Runner was planned to release with 4.1. We haven't got the 4.1 roadmap yet. That is likely to come today, though. Any new pics of the M2 and the Hercules Crusader beside the new white box? No, nothing new yet. Beyond the white box stuff they showed yesterday. With CitizenCon back to its old October thing, think they will hold back the Q3 release until CitizenCon as per usual. It's certainly a possibility. It depends on what they want to focus CitizenCon on as well. So if CitizenCon's more of a Squadron 42 focus, then they might still release the Q3 patch in September. Do you see what I mean? Hey, Board. Hope you're doing well. Do you know if CIG is still planning to do mod support modding? I believe that is still the plan. They haven't said that that's no longer the plan, but expect it in the far future. Excited for the carrot? Yes, I am excited for the carrot. Board, did you see the CitizenCon announcement? Yes, 10th of October. Board, this coming platform persistence, which they're currently testing in 3.8.2, will start keeping UEC from 3.8.2 before we get the reset when 3.8.2 goes live. Expect that when 3.8.2 goes live, that there is going to be a wipe. That is what I'm expecting. That's not necessarily true, but that is what I'm expecting. I'm hoping that there will not be a wipe from 3.8 to 3.9. Although they very well could be. Have you tried to board game a NPC ship in the PTU yet? I think they are restricted now. I've not tried to board an NPC ship in 3.8.2. No. You think they're restricted? You should. So, we'll have a look. I'll have a mess around at some point. In what sense do you think they're restricted as well? Do you think it's sort of like you can't get in the doors at all? Or you can't use the chairs? And yet they've got a way of locking the chairs out. Will there ever be an opportunity for you to interview Chris directly? Yeah. I mean, I typically once a year I get the chance to go to the CIG Winslow studio and I talk to like Erin there. So, interestingly, Chris isn't someone that I'd necessarily want to interview for stuff on my channel so much. Like, I want to interview Chris, don't get me wrong. But it would have to be at a time that he was able to talk about release dates or big things or Squadron 42. Like, a lot of the stuff that, talking to Chris, he can only really talk about the vision for the game and he can't talk to you about mechanics that are coming and what's happening and release dates and that sort of stuff. And then there's potentially more appropriate people to talk to him about the nitty-gritties of that, like Luke Presley, like Tony Zerovic, like Erin, like Sean Tracy. Do you see what I mean? Like, I want tangible ship data, mechanics data, what's happening in the next major patch over the next year, things like that. And I feel that Chris wouldn't be able to give me anything because I'm too small an outlet, and anything that they would want to give, they would give to a big one. You see what I mean? I'm sort of like quite realistic about what I can get from interviews. What older content would you like to see back? Or you didn't like them changing? Mission givers, missions, HUDs, or others? I mean, 2.6.3 was genuinely a great patch for ship combat and fun. So I'd like the game to have good ship combat and be fun again for PvP. I'd have to really sit down and think about what I'd like them to put back in. Tessa Bannister, I'd like to have her mission set in again, and then expanded on. I think they want to get that in as soon as they have the scanning improvements in. BoredGamer, the voice of me now also declares the community value is based on their pockets. Thanks. What? Oh yeah, that is true. I value you based on the amount you donate. That's not true. I love you all. Except I do love Robert Johnson more. Shite! Happy Friday. Insert something clever. My penis? Thanks, buddy. What? No, that's not clever. Happy Valentine's Day. Happy Singles Day. Whatever the fuck you want to call it. I'm very much in the opinion, though, I'm single. And I think that before you get a relationship, you need to be happy being single first. You shouldn't be looking for the person that has to complete you. You don't know what's going to happen in your life. But if you are happy being single and then get a partner, that's fucking great, in my opinion. Who knows? I'm single. Hello. No, I'm not. I'm kidding. I got Star Citizen. I got community. I got the YouTube buddy. Do you think that the Nova tag will fit inside the Carrack? No, I don't. Well, I don't, but some people are saying, well, maybe you're able to put it in where the cargo pods are. So we'll see have to see how the cargo pods work. Do you think the prison will ruin it for groups who just have some fun killing each other or having a demolition derby? We kind of need an option to whether or not to report a crime. There is going to be a tick box that allows you to go, if you are in your group, you can stop them from friendly fire and stuff isn't counted as a crime. Yeah? That's part of that anyway. And also, you could just go to an area where there's no coverage for a crime to be reported. So you could do your destruction derby near Grimhex, for example, or when we have Pyro, in the Pyro system. I don't think prisons are going to ruin it at all. I think they're going to increase gameplay. There's obviously stuff they need to put in so that, yeah, that they need to make sure there is a system in place that fully protects your teammates from getting criminal ratings from accidentally clipping each other or whatever. But at the same time, they've also said that obviously there's going to be thresholds for this sort of thing as well. So you can go, well, I'm partying with a random guy. I'll have it so if he accidentally hits me once, it's fine, not a crime. But if he's like kills me or repeatedly shoots me, obviously that gets reported. Things like that. How do you get motivation to get up and do exercise? I don't want to die. Exercise is actually pretty good. Like, I quite enjoy it. It gives you more energy once you've finished going for a run as well. So I like to sort of like get up in the morning, have some food, and then potentially go for a run while watching anime. So I treat myself to watching something, or like, oh shit, I really want to watch Picard. So I'll go for a run while I watch Picard. So I was like, eat lots of fresh blueberries and drink some emergency to boost your immune system. I have no, that looks like a spiff. That's not how I have at all. Turmeric? Turmeric. I think I have turmeric. This is very good for you. Turmeric and black pepper. Maybe? What else have we got? Do you think Evocati will get to fly the Carrack before those who purchased it, or will the Carrack owners get it into the PTU when it comes to the PTU? So, it's possible that it will go to the Evocati first, if there's something they need to test it with the Evocati first. Like, Evocati's tests are typically only done when something's very buggy and they need to work through it, or they're expecting bugs. If it's doesn't require that phase, then it will go straight to like first wave PTU, maybe even open PTU. But everyone should have the Carrack that has the Carrack by the end of this month. I mean, it's possible the Carrack could get into our hands this week. I think it's more likely next week. To be honest, it'd be really annoying if the Carrack comes out next Friday because I'll be at Baby Metal, or at least in Manchester. Maybe I should take my laptop with me. I could do like I could do a rough video, just going Carrack like that. Or I could do a better one when I get back on Sunday. I'll get something planned for Friday. We'll do something. It'll be fine. What else have we got here? Anything else interesting? Question in brackets if you'd like me to try and answer a question. Board, could you explain the difference between a regular ship purchase and a war bond purchase? Thank you. So, war bond ships are cheaper and are using fresh money. If you purchase with store credit, then you don't get the war bond discount. It's literally that. What career path are you most looking forward to when the full game is released? Industry and economy-based gameplay, for the most part. So like a mixture of base building, trading, mining. It's all that sort of like economic stuff that supports the wider game universe, and the reason that people fight is because of money, effectively.
Tricksy little hobbitses. 32 months, what am I doing with my life?
And XCOM, thank you very much. What are you doing with your life? 32 months. I can't even believe I've been streaming that long. I've been streaming for longer, probably. I don't fucking know. I'm an idiot. Appreciate it. Thank you very much for the sub. Thank you very much for the ridiculous amount of money people have chucked at me today as well. I will update this, the hard drive donation goal. I realised that I've got like how many terabytes do I actually have on this system? I have 1, 2, 14, about 20 terabytes on this computer, but I want to get another 24 because I want to start cataloging appropriate video content in a proper index that I can then have shared with Zin when she's working for me. So we're using the same named, same video catalog when we're editing and making stuff. And also I can then keep it forever, is the idea. So, but I'll update it with the super chat money as well. Thank you so much, very much appreciated. How did the long-term persistence tests go? There are currently some server deadlocks going on in the PTU, which aren't great, and they're investigating. But the persistence wipes worked. So they wiped the database, but then your AlphaUBC and purchases still persisted in the PTU, which is great. So they explained it better as well. They basically said what long-term persistence allows is for them to wipe the databases and then still have your AlphaUBC and purchases persist. Sort of. I'm sorry if it's been asked, but I have no chance to follow the stream and watch it later. Is persistence 100% working? In the PTU, it was working in tests. They've tested it a couple of times, at least. Probably a couple more since I tested it. Do you think they will have a fix when funds are lost due to game crash? Losing all freight costs in bigger ships is rough. So they're going to have more and more ways of just being able to quickly join back into the game. And once we have full persistence, you will literally just, you've crashed, but bam, you can get back in. You'll be exactly where you were. Do you think there will be a persistent war with the Vandal after the conclusion of Squadron 42? I think some systems in the persistent universe are going to have Vandal presence, which is going to be the sort of like impetus for the missions there, and will be the main bad guys in those areas, yeah. But you're also going to have pirates in some areas, and lots of different factions of pirates, and you'll probably have Rebel Tavarin in some areas, and Cold War Xi'an fighting in some areas, and probably some areas like fighting Banu Slavers, and there'll be a lot going on. But yes, I still think that we'll be at war with the Vandal at the end of Squadron 42. I ended up with 2 Explorer packages. One for the ships, one for the LTI to CCU, but I don't know what to upgrade the second Carrack into. Wanted the 890, but can't upgrade. Okay. I mean, you can get a lot of this stuff in-game. Go for what you love the most. If you've already got the money in-game, and you're just moving it around, and go with what you love the most. But remember, you can get some of this stuff in-game, so we'll both get it all in-game. Any word on the Banu Merchantman tool? No updates on the Banu Merchantman at this time. Best commute home ever. Thanks, BG, for doing a slightly later stream. No worries at all. I'm sort of like, at the moment, I'm experimenting with different days and different times of streams, so I can come up with something that I can see metrically what works. Do you think we'll ever be able to hail a landing service without having to use the Mobiglass or MFD screens? Yeah, there might be a hotkey for it eventually. That makes sense. Eventually there might be like an auto dock module that as you get close to a pad, it automatically hails and does it for you. Maybe. Does the LTP, the long-term persistence, include the quest history? No. So at the moment, the testing does not include reputation, so criminal rating, or mission persistence. Mission log. So all your mission standing and progress is lost. I'm not sure if they're going to try and add that for 3.8.2 or not. Yeah, I'm looking forward to different systems in the game, and I'm looking forward to fighting the Vandal, probably more than I am fighting pirates. I always like playing a human in games, whether they be RPGs or whatever. I always like playing a human, and I like fighting against aliens more than I like fighting against other humans typically. I know I can have all in game, but I have 2 Carracks now, so I was wondering what you consider a good upgrade. Has to be something I can CCU. Oh, okay. Bjorn, can you go over the options again? What? So you want to convert one of your characters into something else? Polaris is probably a fucking good idea. Polaris or Orion. I mean, it might be worth just keeping the 2 Carracks, and then eventually when they go live in game, selling one for UEC, and then buying a different ship. I think they'll be pretty valuable for their dollar to UEC value. Claim is another cool one. It depends on the gameplay you want, doesn't it? Any idea on how soon the NPCs that are all over the stations will start acting like players instead of zombies, standing on chairs? So they are building more and more of the AI this year. A lot more of the AI this year, including the social AI, but generally having AI move between physics grids, having the NPC spawner and scheduler. So there's a lot of stuff that will make that significantly better this year. To what extent and how good it is by the end of this year, I don't know. But expect it to be in a significantly better state. How poor is Robert Johnston now? I mean, he donates. He used to donate about $100 a week. I think it's probably averaging that, actually. I think he's very often he used to do $200 a week. I mean, they're New Zealand dollars. I mean, are they real money? Yes, they are. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Robert Johnston, I know you've gone to bed, but, you know, I'll still thank you. After upgrading a ship from a game package that has lifetime insurance on it, does it carry over to the upgraded ship? Yes, so any ship package you upgrade, you only change the hull in it. So if it's got like a load of other stuff in that package, you change the hull, but it will keep the lifetime insurance in the package as well, if it's got lifetime insurance. If the ship you're buying, but it's always the base package. So I've got a Pisces with lifetime insurance, and I want to upgrade it to a Carrack. I'll upgrade it, bam, get the upgrade, apply it. It's got Carrack now with lifetime insurance. If the Pisces only had 6 months and I upgraded to the Carrack, it's only going to have 6 months. Did CIG mention if they plan to push another PTU update before they head into the weekend? They haven't said. As Phobos said, they don't really talk about their PTU plans much. Any idea if you can have alien girls on your ship and if you can romance them, Mass Effect style? So I don't think there's going to be any romance options in Squadron 42 because it's not that sort of game and you're in the military. I think a shared odd romance route would be a bit weird. I mean, they might have it. I just don't think so. It doesn't make sense for what they want to do. What else? Persistent Universe. Maybe you will be able to romance to some aspect people in the Persistent Universe. Maybe. I don't think so. I mean, you could probably flirt with them. Yeah. I mean, more role played between other players, potentially. Any random info on the building blocks? So they're obviously working on the new UIs for ships and pretty much anything else that uses a UI. So helmets, buttons, lifts, anything with the screen, MFDs, whatever. And you'll see more and more and more of these new HUDs and UIs from 3.9, but from patch to patch to patch. But beyond that, we don't have any more information really, I don't think. Do you think we'll get a delivery edition of the Carrack to match the Pisces C8X? Yes, I do think there will be some other skins for the Carrack. Any word on the RSI Apollo? Nope, no additional words on that medical ship. So pets are a weird thing. Like, yes, I know lots of people want catos and doggos in-game, but how do they deal with that? Can your pet die? Can it be sucked out into space? I mean, they need to have some interesting ways of dealing with that. I do not want to lose a pet if I ever have a pet. Thoughts on the 2 SCU containment cells shown in the concept of the Cutlass Blue? Can we get just those as purchasable cargo items to fill a whole caterpillar with criminals? So they talked about those prisoner pods. I actually suspect they will be a sort of form of cargo in general. So potentially they have to put them in as cargo in other ships in the future. That would be my expectation from them. So this is the 2017 Squadron 42 vertical slice that I've tracked on. Was it 2018? Might be 2018. We're living in the future. It's 2020 now. Who cares? What do we know about the... Do we know how many and what sizes the components on the Mercury are? Not like 100% confirmed. I mean, on the... I believe they're mostly small and medium, mostly medium on the Matrix. Let's have a look. Make sure I'm accurate with that. But I assumed they were. Star Runaru. Actually, do I just have the Star Runner up? I probably do, don't I? Mercury Star Runner. They are all medium. And it looks like it's got 2 power plants, 2 coolers, 2 shield generators, 2 fuel intakes, 2 fuel tanks, and 2 quantum fuel tanks, and 5 computers. Obviously, because it's a data runner and cargo hauler. Like a smuggler ship. Yeah. So people will know what I'm looking at. Bam, bam. And what else have we got here? Yeah, I'm looking forward to that new data mined mission assaulting the prison transport. And I'm assuming it's going to be a caterpillar with some sort of those, potentially those cargo pods, prisoner pods in. What else have we got here? Do you live in New Zealand? No, I live in the UK's. Can you romance a ship? Yeah, why not? I suspect someone will marry a Carrack IRL. Get a girlfriend that wants to play Star Citizen with you, problem solved. Don't necessarily need to have the same interests I do. Just need to like the person, get on with them, and then want to go out with them, and then want to have a relationship with them. Do you know what I mean? People are overrated in general, I find. I'm quite happy with my group of friends, to be honest. I'm good. Can I pledge to get bored in game? As soon as there's the ability to have my head scanned in again, I will go out on my way to do that. Don't you worry. What modules for ships like the Carrack or Caterpillar would you expect to want? So, Caterpillar ones, armory, like somewhere you can keep small arms, a repair room, potentially a drone room. So you could potentially keep scouting drones or repair room with fuel drones or mine-sweeping drones. It's like a mine-sweeping little area. Somewhere that you could keep ground vehicles, like a little refueling recharging station. Somewhere you could put Titan suits, potential additional weapons modules, defense modules for internal defense, like little internal defense turrets. There's a huge amount they could do with modules for those ships. I could do, yeah, different types of cargo, refineries, extended fuel tanks, safer storage for volatile cargo. What else have we got? When will they implement more ship customization like the 300 series? Okay, so they said that getting the customization stuff on the website was about as intensive as getting a full ship out. So I'm not sure when we're going to be seeing more ships on that system. I'm hoping they're working on them, but I'm not sure. The aftermarket customization is what I'm most looking forward to, though. So like the 300 series customization on the website is manufacturer customization. So that's quite limited. Sort of like what the manufacturer would give you at the showroom as like options. But aftermarket customization is going to have a lot more changes that you can do to your ship. You'll be able to paint it in lots more colors, that sort of stuff. And I want that, being able to paint my ship on the fly out in the verse, because I feel like changing it the way it looks. And, I mean, we could see that by the end of this year. I mean, they've got the systems in place to be able to change the colours of the ships and stuff. It's just they probably need the UI for that. But with the building block system, their UI sort of like bottleneck has gone down significantly. When will we see an Anvil Carrier or Destroyer like the Aegis Idris and Javelin? And any news on the Xi'an cargo ship? No real news on the Xi'an cargo ship, or the Tavaran fighter, or the mobile refinery, or the mining ground vehicle they sort of talked about very briefly at CitizenCon. But sort of like those big capital ships, as they get more and more sort of like refined with their tech, they're more able to put them in. But they're not likely to be in until Squadron 42 is released now. But it's possible that we would see that Squadron 42 release at the end of this year if we're really lucky. That's super optimistic. More likely between the end of this year and sort of like Q1, Q2, 2020. 2021, sorry. Between the end of this year and Q1, Q2, 2021. For a Squadron 42 release. And therefore, probably those capital ships as well. Can you explain server meshing? So server meshing is the seamless transition and handing off of data between servers, where you could have lots of servers stitched together covering a single star system. So you've got the Stanton system now covered by one server, but they could have that covered by 1,000 servers, and each individual room potentially housing a server, which would then mean that you could have up to whatever limit there is of players per server. So at the moment, 50, but hopefully they'll be able to get that up to like, you know, a few hundred in each server, and then they stitch them all together, and then they go, well, great, now we can have everyone on the same mega stitch server. So as a step towards that, and if they can't have everyone in the same mega stitch server, and they have to have people overlapped in certain areas, that they would do it based on importance of people, is the way I understand it. So say server meshing doesn't work in the way that they can have, they can only have like 100 people in an area, but 1,000 people want to be in this landing zone. Okay, they can artificially restrict the people going there by, like, you know, saying there's warp storms, or it's under attack and you're not allowed to land, or by having huge amounts of tax, or increasing the landing fees or whatever, or having a queue that you have to wait in. So they could artificially restrict that access to the area, or they could have instances that overlap, and you travel seamlessly between those instances based on importance of things. So if I am likely to have conflict with you, or work with you, or doing the same mission as you, or whatever, then it tries to put me in the same instance where possible. So that's the other way that server meshing might work, or might work in the shorter term. Do you see what I mean? We don't 100% know exactly how they're going to do it, because they haven't done it yet. But it's that's in my head, that's the backup plan version of server meshing. And it's literally going to be based on how many players can they get into an individual server, and what does that actually mean for in-game terms. What else we got here? Not a sauces in question, but if you're going to fake your death, how would you do it? Pixie wank? No. I don't know. I don't know. What kind of question is that? Why would I? That'd be weird, wouldn't it? Do those cargo pods on the Carrack open? I don't actually know. I know they're going to be swappable, but they looked like they had... yeah, I suppose they would have to open in some way so you could load and unload the cargo. Question, what do you think about CIG fixing things but not apologising for dropping the ball? I mean, they discuss dropping the ball sometimes, and a lot of the time the community's unreasonable and a lot of the time it is reasonable, and it depends on the voices. So who you're apologising to. I don't think it's better to necessarily apologise about stuff, but just do better. Seem reasonable? The LA Convention Center for CitizenCon 2020 means something big, no? Yeah, yes, and Jared implied the same. He said it would be the biggest CitizenCon they've ever had, and make of that what you will, but I would expect some big stuff. I mean, it's CitizenCon, there's always big stuff, but really big things, like potentially Squadron 42 releasing, or releasing the release date then. I did expect the release date last year, but there's a lot of stuff that I think is going to be big CitizenCon this year. Raging Sage and Sergeant 3v3. Thank you very much. You've got a weird name. I appreciate the sub, though. Both of you, the best. Any idea on the consolidated outlined Pioneer release and date of outposts? No, expect to see some form of land claim gameplay mechanics in before we have building of outposts, in my opinion. I do think it will be a little bit later down the line, but you see the Pioneer, though. They need full persistence. They need server meshing, probably, before they put outposts in game. It says, because I still haven't gone through full puberty. That's why my voice cracks. When is the next free flight? I don't know. I'm sure I saw... Okay, this might have been a dream. I'm sure I was chatting to someone from CIG on someone else's stream, and they said there was going to be a free flight really soon. Make of that what you will. That's sort of like, I can't remember if it was real or not. You think they will add some alien content like crash ships to explore, repair and capture, to claim, or stopping invasions, either space or ground, something like that? Yeah. You get stuff like that in the future. There's no additional news on the Crytek lawsuit. We're waiting to the 21st to learn more. That's when the court will rule if they haven't come to a settlement. Basically, they said that they were close to a potential settlement, so they needed a little bit more time. Both parties said that, apparently, so settlement would be good, potentially. I mean, I will try and get as much information as I can on that I'm allowed to get. So someone has said that the cargo pods on the Carrack open in a similar way to that of the Caterpillar. Cool. So like semi-clamshell. Clamshell? They open. We'll have a look when we actually have it in our hands as well. How will they implement the personal hangars in the PEU? Will they have one personal hangar at every major spaceport, or just one on the starting planet? So, expect to see public hangars for the major landing zones that cost money for you to rent or whatever, or land there, and that sort of like you land your ship and it sort of like despawns it, like you might do it cleverly, so it like puts it in storage or whatever. But also, you should be able to have your own personal physicalized hangars and habs, probably rented again. That will give you some extra bonuses or whatever, and they've got enough room to literally have those to have physicalized addresses, because there's a huge amount of real estate on the planets. But again, probably need server meshing for that. At the very least, we need full persistence. So I just joined the stream. Was there any news on the release of the StarRunner? StarRunner is planned to come out in 4.1, so Q3 2020 release, although that could be 10th of October. That's when CitizenCon is. Do you think, when do you think players will stop wearing armor and wear casual clothing? When there is a reason to not wear armor. Armor restricts you in some way, or there's reasons to wear clothing, then people will wear clothing. That's the idea. They want to get players out of armor where possible. It's sort of like what CIG want to do. Mark Hamill at CitizenCon. Yes, please. That is quite possible, isn't it? Thinking about it. Maybe some celebs this year at CitizenCon. Oh, yeah. Okay. No, I can definitely see that. I remember hearing something at last year's the CitizenCon recently. I can definitely see them having celebrities this year at CitizenCon, and potentially being able to meet them. I subbed a couple of days ago, still haven't received my jackets. Know if I should or have to wait. I think that you'll have them by the end of this weekend. Why is there hype behind the Carrack? It's just one of the community's favourite ships overall. A lot of people love it. Only hyped if you like it, I suppose. Question about the land claim stuff. Will we be able to own land in UE space? Or will that gameplay only be in the Frontier Lawless areas? You don't need land. You don't need land claims in Lawless space. Land claims are only deployable in UEE space and potentially in alien space as well, with the particular authorities there. The idea there is that then those claims are protected by the security forces in that area to some extent. And if someone goes and trespasses on your land and you ask them to leave or whatever, or they stay there for too long or whatever, it will mark them as a criminal and someone will hopefully come and deal with them. That's the idea there. In Lawless space, like if you were deploying a base in Pyro, that is, don't need a land claim there. That is, no laws are going to protect you. It's going to be the defenses you put there. It's going to be the patrols you have there. It's going to be how well you hide that base. That's what's going to protect it. When we get hangers in game, can I invite you over for some bennies? Yes. You think we'll be able to eat big bennies in 3.9? Yes. I think it'll probably be one of the food types. We know they've sort of like got a lot of harvestals will be edible, water and energy bars, but I would expect big bennies noodles, the burrito torpedo burrito, pizza, tortoise. Do you think Cloud Imperium might have to allow multiple verses to keep players from bottlenecking? They might layer servers on top of each other for the same instance of areas. That is what I think they will do in the shorter term. And if they can't get server meshing to work in the way they want to, that's what they'll have to do longer term, in my opinion. The noodles may or may not come with lifetime insurance. Thank you for your news on the Star Runner. I have to buy it. You will be able to get it in game, so remember that as well. Don't have to buy it if you don't, you do what you want with your own money. I'm just saying, get it in game as well. Do you think physical damage and inventories is potentially slowing down Squadron 42 development, and why would they be all quiet about it? I think they're major systems they're working on for this year. To what extent they're going to be fully integrated into Squadron 42, I don't know. I think the main thing that's slowing down, or the thing that CIG are struggling with the most for development, is AI at the moment. Have they said when CitizenCon will be this year? Yes, 10th of October, 2020, at the LA Convention Center, and that's a huge venue. So it's gone back to its normal date, like some devilishly handsome potato had guessed. Do we know if the Warbond version will be still purchasable at the end of the month? For the Mercury Star Runner, you can get it as an upgrade for Warbond, so the $200 Warbond upgrade. I only saw it available, the full ship available for store credits, the store credit price. So bear that in mind. Just get another ship and upgrade it. Yeah, so with long-term persistence in the 3.8.2 PTU, the idea is that your Alpha UBC and purchases will persist between patches much more frequently. They still will wipe the databases, but that will mean that those numbers still get carried over, but they will still wipe that progress when necessary. So that'll be when they're testing something or when there's been huge exploits. Will Squadron 42 play like a Mass Effect game? No, so expect it to be sort of like slightly Mass Effect-y, fractionally, but more like Wing Commander with all the missions happening one after another, with a briefing, sort of like pre-briefing, briefing, getting to the theatre of war, as it were, deploying, doing your mission, getting back to your ship, debriefing after the mission onto the next mission, and you being able to interact with the crew and that sort of stuff. But literally just a 40 hours of that sort of thing. Like a pretty big epic campaign. But that's the way it's going to play. It's going to be much more on rails because you are in the military. It's a story-led narrative. It's not going to be loads and loads and loads of like subquests and stuff. There's going to be some, I would suspect, and like some things you can do for characters and other ways you can do missions and some stuff you can do, but you can't just go off and entirely randomly explore in Squadron 42. In your opinion, will the Star Runner increase in price before release? So it's $225 now on the site, $200 War Bond for the upgrade. For the upgrade to, you know what I mean? $200 upgrade value, whatever you want to call it. When it goes live and flyable, I would expect it to go up in price. Will the Idris come this year or next? I mean, it's possible it could come at the end of this year, but really they're going to want to release Squadron 42, in my opinion, and optimize a load of the network stuff a little bit better. I mean, something with the Idris that's so massive that can, at the moment, contain more than a server full of people to, like, operate and run it. And they're probably going to want server meshing first, but... What was the topic of today's Star Citizen Live? It was the Mercury Star Runner and Carrack and the concepts, like pre-concepts and concepts of those ships. It was semi-informative. It looked really cool. There was lots of cool stuff that they showed of the sort of like development towards those ships. I think CitizenCon will be Squadron 42 themed. I think there will be a heavy Squadron 42 presence there, yes. Star Runner versus Cutlass Black, your opinion? Very good ships to compare to each other. Cutlass Black is significantly cheaper, so bear that in mind, and smaller. The Star Runner is going to allow you to do a lot more. It's got data running. It's a bit of a bigger ship. It's generally more powerful for most of the stuff, but it is larger. I like the Star Runner more, but I love the multi-role use of the Cutlass Black as well. So. At 16 minutes into the CitizenCon ship talk, they confirm that the Carrack's cargo doors open like the Caterpillars. Yeah, I vaguely remember that as well. Okay, cool, thank you. Will the 4.1 patch bring data mechanics and hacking since the Mercury is coming out in that patch? It is very possible that there will be data running missions in that patch. I would expect that, and I've seen some potential data missions in some of the leaks as well. How will server meshing affect large corporation battles looking back on EVE Online? Probably never as huge as the EVE Online battles with the tens of thousands of players constantly. And obviously, even in EVE, they have to have time dilation. But they need a way of limiting organization size, in my opinion. We'll have to wait and see what CIG do for the balance for that. Favorite ship manufacturer and why? It's. I mean, I love Aegis. I love Drake just because they're no frills. I have a little bit of love for most of the ship manufacturers, to be honest. Should I upgrade my Sabre to the Super Hornet? It's hard to say. I mean, a lot of people love the Sabre more. A lot of people love the Super Hornet more. And we don't really know how they're going to be balanced yet. So, it's sort of my opinion is wait. Why is the Vulture only $140? It seems a lot for a small ship. It will go up in price when it's closer to race. What's your favourite currently flyable ship? I love the Avenger Titan because it's multi-role. I love the Cutlass Black because it's multi-role. I mean, I think probably the Reclaimer currently is my favourite ship overall, but it doesn't have the mechanics that I want it to have. Okay, I love the idea of salvage. I love how big that ship is. I'm not planning on attending CitizenCon 2020 yet. It's in Los Angeles. I'm not great at traveling. I will cover the event as best I can. I'll probably be able to cover it better from home even. But there might be watch parties or other opportunities to do something at the same time. What if I send you a controller configuration? Will you test it out on the screen? It says its validity for a new user. I'm happy to look at it at some point. Maybe test out on the screen. I'm happy to look at it for you, mate. Can we fly the Reliant core horizontally? Yes. Is it J to change the mode? It's flight mode, I think. J on my setup, I know that. LA sucks anyway, bored. I'm right next door compared to you, and I won't be going. Okay, no worries. I think it's going to be pretty big, though. Do they do virtual tickets like Blizzard does? They tried to do that 2 years ago, and there was a massive outcry from the community. I think they probably will do BlizzCon-esque tickets in the future once they have some products out. But at the moment, while they're using these events to make a huge amount of money, it's ridiculous for them to try and charge virtual tickets, eh? That will be live streamed free, almost certainly, on their YouTube and Twitch stream, or at least their Twitch stream. An old brownie. LA does not suck. I will happily present your view. I have no idea whether it's amazing or terrible. I suspect it's just like a place. When will you fall in love with the Reliant? I won't. I think it's very I think it's very unlikely. Very love-hate relationship I have with it, where I love to hate it. Yeah, I think you'll see the Taurus, the constellation Taurus, on the roadmap for 2020. I'm not sure why it has not been in game yet. It's possible that they are tweaking a load of the constellations with like a new cockpit stuff, or removing the struts and having rigid glass, things like that. Right, I am going to dash off in a second, because I feel really fucking rough. I'm going to take some painkillers. See, I've got a little tiny cough. Oh, Saurus, why have you raided me? Oh, I was gonna go. I'll answer some more questions and chat a bit longer. Thank you so much for the raid. Why? I appreciate the Kraken attack. Thank you. Yeah, I know, it's the pain. Our countermeasures currently OP. No, they need to revise the way missiles work, and so the ship features team, they are working heavily on ship combat this year. So we should have combat in a lot better state by the end of 2020. Couldn't be in a worse state. Well, it could be, but you know what I mean. So there's a lot of polish that they're going to have to do to the systems this year. But I'm looking forward to that. What else have we got? What time does the roadmap generally hit? Any time from 8 PM onwards UTC, so an hour and a half onwards is typically when you can see it from. Anyone would like to ask a question? Question in brackets. I'm going to go to real quick bio, answer some more questions, and then after I've answered a few more questions, chatted very briefly, maybe gone over the news really briefly again, then I'll go. Because thank you very much for the raid, Doris. Appreciate it. Ha! Oh dear. Come on. Come on. Come on. Bloody raiding me when I wanted to go. Do you think we will get Tony Z's Quanta system alive this year? So I think we'll get at least steps towards it. So, I mean, they obviously had the dynamic emission system and dynamic economy stuff. The first part of that planned for 3.9 originally and then moved off the roadmap. So I would expect to see that and some of that Quanta system stuff in 2020. It is obviously core to the persistent universe and core to how it will operate economy-wise and how they generate emissions and all that sort of jazz. So it's important they start to get that in. But yeah. Yeah, I've got weird anxiety about going to see Baby Metal next weekend because I'm going up to Manchester next Friday to go see Baby Metal. Hear little Japanese girls scream about eating chocolate. Because why not? Everyone's like, you're going to get the coronavirus. And so it's unlikely in the UK, but it's still possible. So we've got gas masks, we've got masks and stuff. I mean, I just get anxiety about bullshit like that all the time. I hate travelling. I'm not a fan of travelling. When will the next concept be sold? It's weird because typically they do it mid-February, so we could have a concept ship by the end of February maybe, but maybe not. Maybe they're going to do something strict fireball with 3.9. Typically we get the first concept sale of each year around now though. Any other questions? So let's have a look at this again quick. So we've got the one of the pictures of the Carrack. So it's got like this part which is inspired by Battlestar Galactica, and sort of like the spine on the ship, and they sort of like put that influence here for the cargo pods, the 3 cargo pods here, each with 152 SC of cargo. We've got the engines which have had a slight bit of rework from the CitizenCon sort of model. They tweaked the engines, they've got the same shapeology now as the original, with also the round style of Anvil. I love the amount of detail on this ship. We've got the sort of like mapping room, as it were. Hopefully this will look a lot cooler in the future and actually have function. We've got some of the connecting corridors, places which I assume is where you put your suits or escape pods. You never tell which they are. I believe this is turret access. A connector there. What I think is a repair room or engineering room. And where are the connecting areas? I think this is the gangways above the cargo pods. External turrets. Internals of the turrets. I believe that's part of the repair room again. The bottom of the cargo area with a gangway above it, I believe. More connection areas. A large communal bathroom. I think this is part of either the crew berth or a little armory room. More connections. A bathroom again. Bathroom from another angle. Really looking forward to actually having real reflections. That repair bench and that repair room or engineering station. More of the crew berth. Looks like it's got actual components above the bed. Gangway from another angle. More connection room stuff. More connection room stuff. I mean, I suppose that could... Someone suggested that could be the medical room. Possibilities. More work in progressy rooms. Will the cargo pod be able to be droppable and left behind, or will they just open? Worst case, will they not drop or open? So they're supposed to open, apparently similar way to the caterpillar doors. There's 3 cargo pods on the Carrack, each of 152 SCU, and they've said they will be swappable. So they might be deployable and droppable in a similar way, sort of like the saddlebags are, or they might just be swappable out for other cargo pods / other modules that allow different function. We don't know yet. Just a quick question. Oh, thank you very much, Triton. CT, thank you very much. Thank you very much for watching me. Thank you very much for what the community does for me and my channel. It is very much appreciated. It effectively gives me a job by giving me a job. Thank you very much. Genuinely. Just a quick question before you leave board. Could you tell the story of CitizenCon from 2012 to now? They're trying to make a game. They wanted to make a big space game. They started doing it. They got far too much money. And they went, shit, let's make a bigger space game. Let's make it a big single-player campaign with AAA actors in the style of Wing Commander, but in modern day graphics, sort of like stuff they could never do before. And the same with a huge, persistent MMO universe as a sort of... It was all in the same universe and potentially the same game universe, but one is a MMO and one is a single-player game. Yeah, that's where we are now. They're building an MMO with this sort of like huge scale of Star Citizen. They are. That's all you need to know, really. There's been ups and downs. Bam. You thought it was going to take me ages. What the fucking do? Oh, fucking do. That's basically Star Citizen. It's got ships in it. You shoot people. Good job. Got all the roles in the world in it. It's every game ever. It's all put into one. It's EVE 2.0 in first person. There you fucking go. The 300i always available. Does the Valentine's I have anything special? I don't think it does. Is it slightly cheaper or something? I couldn't work it out. I will be your Valentine, J-Bird. But I'll be anyone's Valentine. I'm like that. I'm a free spirit. I love you, J-Bird. Mwah. Halloween events like Planet Quarantine for a zombie plague. How possible? Yeah, there's possible that there could be missions associated with that at different events at different times of the year. Yeah, and then it started as an occult. If it is, it's one of the worst organised cults ever. It incorporates lots of different people's views and opinions, all of which sort of like conflict with each other. You can look at it more as our groups, our specific orgs, or... How many did you gift? What is wrong with you? What is that? Did you miss... Did you just gift 100 subs on my channel? How do I even say your name? I'm going to have Sergeant 3v3 RS man. Is that how I say your name? Did you misclick? Because I will happily get that refunded to you if you did. No worries, bro. I've got your back. I'd hate it if you had actually misclicked. That's going to go on forever now. Thank you so much, whatever. Even if you were just gifting one. Thank you so much. Very much appreciated. What? Look, okay. I really appreciate the love people give me. But I don't... It's not necessary to... Oh my... I don't know what to say about that. That is fucking mad. Thank you so much. That's what I'll say. Thank you so much. Anyone that got a sub that was actually grateful for getting one, please thank Sergeant STG or Sergeant 3v3 RS man. Oh, well, you're definitely going to be mentioned next month's video. Maybe in a video this month. Thank you so much. What is this? Oh no. Why? Why? Get paid, it's your job. Thank you, I appreciate it. Oh, I'm gonna be Sergeant 3v RSman's Valentine. Oh, why? What is this? How would you like features in the PU, such as underwater exploration? I'd like exploration first. The more, the merrier. Thank you for the hype train. Thank you for all this shit that's going on. This is how people get subs, really. They just, like, wait until... You're a whale now! You're a whale. You're my little whale. You're my little free willy. You've earned a limited time exclusive amount. Oh, it's just said loads of shit up on my screen. Hype train level 5. The final level. Oh my god, you're mad, boy. I don't know what to say. You've ruined my stream. I don't know what to do. Someone else has actually subscribed, like, naturally. Bardnort. I'm sorry you didn't get a free sub. Yeah, it's going to go on for weeks, mate. It's going to go on for weeks. Hasn't stopped, has it? Oh, we need more. No, it hasn't stopped. Yeah, that's a weird hype train. Thank you. I've solved the banning merchantman cargo knife. Why are there so many people in favour of allowing the cargo capacity to be reduced? So, the original listings for the prices of ships, especially the older ones, will change because when they build the ships, they go, well, this is how much cargo fits here, or this is the appropriate amount of cargo. All ships get nerfed to the same state while keeping... Okay, let me rephrase that. So ships will stay within their focus. So there'll still be a top-tier hauler or top-tier trader, or be able to do what they're supposed to do and then be balanced for that. They might increase cargo or SEU or whatever, potentially, for ships that don't meet the mark, or they'll make them more efficient in other ways. But they're not going to not be great at their focus. So the banning merchantman is going to be a great hauler and trader. Also, you're probably forgetting, if they do reduce the size of the original cargo SCU of the ship, there's still going to be the shops and other areas of the ship which will have SCU space, but they're probably not counting as cargo. So my brain has been confused by the amount of subs that are happening. Oh, Sayakame, thank you very much for the sub as well. The natural, normal human sub. Appreciate it. Don't know what to do. You've broken me. I like money though. I do like money. Thanks. You madman. Will there be Kool-Aid? Yes. How are you, mate? I'm good, Jake Alvin. Little tired. I want to take some painkillers and have a little nap. But I don't think I can now. I don't think I'm ever allowed to nap again. What is Star Citizen? Originator of the highly successful classic computer game Wing Commander, creates RSI and promises an updated game with modern AAA fidelity. Yes. Oh, what have I done? So, yeah, the Mercury Star Runner, when they were planning it in concept, they had a target SCU of 108 SCU for it, and then that got reduced down to 96 after they sort of like built it out a bit more. They plan to have the Mercury Star Runner out for 4.1, so Q3 2020, slash potentially CitizenCon 10 days later, October 10th. That's gonna go on for weeks. Can you talk about the Carrack? Yeah, Carrack has got 456 SCU cargo space, split between 3 cargo rooms of 152 each. So if you want to have a look at the Carrack sort of like picture gallery of what they showed recently, there they've got they've redone the engine slightly so it's more in line with what people wanted, but still staying within the lines of Anvil's sort of like shapeology and style. I'm really looking forward to the Carrack. It's going to have a little bit of everything, is the joy of it. So you've got a repair room, you've got drones, you've got medical bay, you've got crew quarters, you've got beds, you've got a mapping room, you've got captain's quarters, you've got little food areas, you've got all this stuff, you've got a good amount of weaponry and gear, you've got room for your rover and your Pisces, hangar bay and deployable bay. Someone's not done something weird now, have they? I'm seeing lots of weird things appear on my screen again. Oh, I've got a hype unicorn. What is this? Thanks to the hype unicorn. That's actually pretty cool. Do I keep that forever? I want hype unicorn forever. Oh shit, you all get hype unicorns. Oh my god. Oh, you're the fucking best. Thanks so much for the unicorn, mate. I didn't realise you streamed. Yeah, I stream sometimes. Most of it's just sort of like I try to chat to the community and answer questions and stuff. because it helps me plan my content for the coming week or so, get a bit of a pulse on what's going on. Obviously, it's apparently amazing for generating subs. Seeing that someone donated 100 subs. You monstrous person, you. Oh, man. Why you do this? What else have we got here? Did you get a chub, like I did, when they showed the ships going in atmosphere at every angle? The new re-entry effects. Yes, so let's actually show this on screen, not the chub. Make that clear. So, my latest video on the Star Citizens, that's showing off some of the bits of the Carrack, it's sort of like new engine, the new shapeology, the new detail, because obviously the CitizenCon version wasn't the finished version of the Carrack. We've got a load of internal work, some pretty cool stuff with the Carrack there. Put it off twice because why not? Got some stuff on the Hercules Starlifter, just in the white box at the moment, but they're working on it. I'm hoping that we get it in for 2020 for Flyable. It would be like, if they did, it would be at the end of the year. So they've got some of the white box and the internals, the white box there. Got the Cutlass Blue, which they're working on. I'd expect this for 4.1, in my opinion at the moment. So like they're working out what livery they want for that ship at the moment. Nino. Lights. Prisons 3.9. In the centres where you check out your information terminal stuff. And there's lots of turrets there. There's a boxing ring so you can punch each other. And there's shanks and shivs which you can find around in prisons. There's a prison backpack / prison orange suit, which I really like the look of. The orange prison jumpsuit. What else do we have? Oh, they've got new shader stuff. So putting organic shaders, the new shader tech for better shaders for Planetary Tech V4 stuff. So that's like the lava fields, so on the moons. Really cool looking stuff there. New harvestables, some of them might be edible. And they're experimenting with some VFX work. So I love this sort of like semi-low res hologram stuff. I love this shit. I want this in my house. There's some stuff they've been working on with consumables for mining, but this is what the guy was talking about with the new sign distance fields re-entry effects. So it literally shapes to your hull and the angle that you're coming in at. And if you had like damage to your ship, whatever, it would shape to your hull appropriately. This is just them testing it and sort of like doing R&D into it. But expect it to look fucking amazing when they're done. But sign distance field tech is going to make stuff like quantum travel and shields and these effects look so good. Is there anything else that they showed that I wanted to show? We've got Valentine's sale. We've got the Macquarie Star on sale. Prison again. No, I think that was it. I think that was basically it. Still going with the subs because you're a monster. I want you to know that. Inside Star Citizen was very good this week. Yes, it was. It was, wasn't it? The sprint report was good this week. Even the sort of like to a reasonable extent, even them talking about the vehicle experience team was okay. Wasn't awful, it wasn't bad or anything. It was okay. But the sprint report stuff was absolutely fucking great. And that's what I kind of want from Inside Star Citizen every week. Either studio reports or sprint reports or things like that. They're great. And I suspect they will see a big increase in sales of the Valentine with the Valentine sale as well because of that, in my opinion. But we'll have to wait and see. Thank you so much for the ridiculous amount of money and subs people have chucked my way. I will update this. It's not updating with super chats properly or anything like that, so I'll get that sorted next time. At the moment, there's two things I'm going to be using donation money for. Improving my office. So I'm going to get some new pictures, start setting some new pictures up. I'm going to get like an air filter, some plants and things. Literally making the office look nicer. Getting a new webcam, so that I can have a webcam over here looking at me, so I can do some stuff to the camera, or maybe the other way. And you can see sort of like background of my room or my office. I think it will look cool. And the other thing I want to get is 24 terabytes of storage, because I want to literally index all Star Citizen videos that I can that are going to have worth to me for using as footage in the future, and for that to be used between me and Zin, who's going to be my editor, going to have the same database, and it's all going to be indexed properly. So I want to start doing that now, because, you know, in 3 years' time, I'll be like, probably about 2 years' time, I'll have easily got through 24 terabytes of footage, because that will be a mixture of my B-roll, but also all of the Star Citizen videos that ever have, you know, a reason to be saved, which will be a lot, and streams and stuff like that as well. So thank you very much for the donations and the subs today. That's insane. How's it going with Zin? Good. We've talked about it. Said try and start before June, if possible. One of the worries is, like, obviously it's a big sort of thing to take on an employee in the UK. I'd have to make sure I've got a pension and everything in place, and lots and lots of sick potential stuff for sick work and leave and all this sort of stuff. So it's a big thing, and it's a big responsibility. But I want to be able to double my workload. So I want to be able to produce a couple of videos a day, or a video and stream every day, and potentially do some other stuff as well other than Star Citizen. But it will mostly be additions to Star Citizen stuff and content. But around that time, we should also have Theatres of War, so that'll be something that we can play on stream, no fuss, pretty easy Star Citizen content-wise, while talking about Star Citizen, if there's nothing else to do. So this sort of like seems like a good idea. I think I'll be able to generate a good amount of interest, and, you know, silly people that donate huge amounts of subscribers to my stream. Thank you so much, by the way. I will keep on saying that. What else have we got? Oh, someone else has chucked money at me. All I have to say is mama, 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 or something about the MMA. Thank you very much, Job, or GOB. Appreciate it. Love your fucking face, mate. You deserve every penny. Well, I don't think I do, but I appreciate the sentiments. Thank you very much for the sec bomb. 6641. That's what you're going to be called now. Bored, saving for a new graphics card, or should I sub to stuck with a 960 right now? So I'd either look at potentially grabbing, because you can get them pretty cheap, a 1070 GTX, really good card. Check out, I'm not sure what sort of range you want to go for. Well, the 5700 XTs from AMD, they might be a good solution for you. They are good, well priced. They're great cards still, so like 1070 or that. Maybe a 2070 if you can a bit more. We are going to see some really great graphics cards coming out in the not too distant future. But not too distant future is at least 9 months away. It's always going to be like that. It's always worth waiting, but wait until you don't want to wait, sort of thing. It's a computer at the end of the day. The other alternative is potentially have a look at Shadow Tech, which is the subscription-based streaming service. So you stream a gaming PC to your PC or other device, and that gives you access to a gaming PC for a subscription. That might be appropriate for you if you've got a good enough internet connection. Check that out. It's shadow.tech. I love Shadow. I shill for them. Use the code BoredGamer for a discount. Pew, pew, pew! Yes, I will get. I'll get a NAS setup. It'll be a NAS setup that I'm planning to get. So it'll be nice, solid network drives. How will they make selling data relevant when I can just tell everyone what I found by Discord? Yeah, you could. So data's only going to be valuable if you want to sell it to NPCs or other players that are out of your group. You want to be selling that data. If you just want to be sharing it with your org or your friends, yeah, cool. But the idea is that it's not just going to be selling data, it's going to be saving locational information to then give to people. So I've saved the location of this asteroid that I found, and now I can give it to this dude. And he knows where it is as well now as a quantum travel point, potentially. But that's really important. We need that being able to save locational information and travel to those areas. Thank you so much for those subs, by the way. They're still going. They're still going. Oh my god, the trixiest of hobbitses. I'm not sure of who's actually subbing naturally now and who's... Oh, monster. I don't know what... why are you so handsome? So I think it's like attractiveness is in the eye of the beholder, but I am objectively attractive. So thank you for identifying that and saying the elephant in the room. I am an attractive potato. Look at the engines on the Pisces. They are not round. Would they have been better to enlarge them for the Carrack? Yeah, I know what you mean. But they sort of like they do want that. There is a roundness motif to a lot of Anvil stuff. If you didn't have Star Citizen, what would you do? Probably another game. What? Thank you very much for the sub. Hash BoredGamer. What? Yeah, huh? Thank you very much appreciated. Love your face. I did so much going on there. Oh my, why is this? You've broken it! It's broken my... You've literally broken my updates board. Oh, you monster. Oh. Why are you a thing? Why do you exist? But yeah, so, I mean... What other games do I enjoy? Like, really enjoy? I'd probably playing a lot of card games, potentially. Like, Legends of Runeterra. Rust. Diablo 3. That sort of game. I might even be doing other subjects entirely. Like, I might do something semi-political. If I ever did anything politics ever in my life, it would be neutral politics. It would be... trying to find out more about why people think certain things in a safe-ish environment. I like talking to people. I like trying to understand them and inquire about stuff. Like, I think it's all right to be wrong and all right to have the wrong idea, as long as you're fine and civil about talking about it, and as long as you're like, well, what's right for me might not be right for someone else, and I should be able to have my mind swayed and changed based on, you know, don't go out of your way to shout at someone because you're right, they're wrong. Necessarily try and convince them. But also try and understand it from their point of view. That's the way I sort of live my life. I've been wrong a lot when I was younger. I'm going to be wrong a lot from now onwards. It's just life, isn't it? Hashtag cancel Carrack. No! Never. Never! You monster. With the new graphical stuff, we are seeing with entering the atmosphere, where we see damage to our ship if we enter the atmosphere in the wrong angle, etc. I think there will be some gameplay associated with it. Probably heat and stuff like that. Maybe it could cause overheating and things. I hope it wouldn't cause damage, but it's a possibility. With only 15 days left of the month, do you think it's likely the character gets delayed again? No. I think we'll see it probably next week in the... at least at Eva Cardi's hands. But yeah, don't cancel Carrack, please. No, they haven't. They haven't stopped yet. The subs haven't stopped yet. You are the worst. Or the best. I haven't decided yet. Besides Salvage, what is the most anticipated upcoming feature you're looking forward to? And the Salvage is pretty big, though. I'm hoping it's back on the roadmap. The dynamic mission system and the dynamic economy together. Like, that's the most anticipated feature, in my opinion. That's so important to the game. Obviously, server meshing as well. And then just all of the gameplay loops, of which there are billions. Not billions. You know what I mean? There's a lot. I'm late to the party, but are we confident that Squadron 42 won't be released in 2020? Okay, pretty confident that it won't be released by the end of 2020, but it is a possibility. Optimistically, a possibility. Jared has said, CitizenCon has been announced for the 10th of October, so going back to its normal normal date for 2020 in LA, in the LA Convention Center, a huge venue, and he said it's huge, it's going to be the biggest CitizenCon we've had, and make of that what you will. So I think it's possible that you could have Squadron 42 released at the end of this year. more likely they'll start a huge marketing campaign for it and have it released in Q1 or Q2 of 2021. Did you get a chance to check on board Galactic Historian? No, I haven't done it yet. I've not tested it out yet. I do need to do that. What else have we got? Thanks for the gift sub. I know, people are monstrous. It literally broken all of my panels because it doesn't know what to do. It filled them all up. It's an integer overflow. Hardware since Star Citizen is supporting 30 threads. So at the moment, Star Citizen supports 30 CPU threads, it appears. Is there any point to going to Threadripper at the moment? They start at 64 threads. Yeah, because you can be running stuff in the background as well. So it's not just Star Citizen. Your CPU will be doing other stuff as well. Although, what I would say is that Star Citizen will probably scale to more threads eventually as well. However, do you need more than like 64 threads ever? Probably not. Do you need more than 32 threads at the moment? Probably not. Do you need more than 12 threads at the moment for most tasks? Probably not. Single core performance is still incredibly important in games and tasks. But obviously rendering and some other stuff, more cores the better. And we are moving towards a multi-threaded sort of like gameplay experience for a lot of stuff. So, are you still looking at Threadrippers for content creator? Yes. So short term, I'm going to get a 3950X is the plan. So not Ryzen 9 or whatever it is. So like sort of like just below a Threadripper, a cut down Threadripper. Yeah, very much looking forward to that. Is that 32 threads? Let's have a look. Components. AMD. So I'm planning to work with Acetec, who did the pump giveaway on my channel, little BoredGamer CPU cooler pumps. They fucking make great stuff. I love their cooler stuff, and they look like they want to work with me with hardware stuff. So they're helping with that sort of element. So I love them. Yeah, 16 core, 32 thread, 3950X. I think that will be great for my needs. I mean, I do a lot of video editing and stuff like that, but more compiling, and it's never super heavy duty, although it is 4K now, where possible. Do you think with the addition of prisons and prisoner pods, we'll be able to apprehend players at places like Portal Star and Area 18 using non-lethal methods? In the future, yes. You will be able to, in 3.9, people will be able to surrender to you, and you obviously will probably be able to punch them and stuff like that. If you take them down, I think the assumption there is if you kill them or take them down or they surrender, they spawn in prison, as long as they have an appropriate criminal rating. With the Hull C being listed as completed in the Squadron 42 roadmap and docking coming, hopefully 4.0, or will we actually see the Hull C with 4.0? Other things that the Hull C needs before it's released to the persistent universe. Morphing physics grids solved so that it can have its spindles like, compress and contract. Yes, ship to station docking. And updates to the cargo so that it can have large cargo containers on its spindles rather than lots of little ones, because that's too entity intensive for service. When I saw you walk into Costa at Manchester before CitizenCon, should have brought you a coffee for real. Jag, anytime you want to say hi or come chat or whatever, just feel free to poke me, mate. But yes, anyone that ever sees me in real life, feel free to come over and say hello. I love talking to people. I'm literally an attention hoe. I am just a normal human dude and want to meet and talk to people. I'm a social butterfly when it comes to chatting to people. I really want to talk to people. So you are don't feel embarrassed. Don't feel like you're bothering me or anything. I will literally, I promise you, I will tell you if I'm too busy to talk to you or you're bothering me or whatever. But typically it will be like, I'm so busy now. Do you want to meet in 5 minutes at the bar? I'll grab you a drink, sort of thing, or whatever. Like it's yeah, I love to meet people, and I am very aware that my channel and what I do as a job is built on the shoulders of viewers and everyone that watches me. So genuinely, thank you very much. Thank God the subs have ended. Thank you. Thank you, SDG or Sergeant 3v3 or RS man. Thank you for the subs. If for some reason you accidentally pressed that button, please tell me, and I will obviously sort you out with a refund for that. Can we expect any more multi-crew stealth ships? Probably yes, but they're not going to be. They're going to be stealthy-ish ships. But also, you're going to be able to mod your ship to be more stealthy. Stealth in Star Citizen is not a cloaking field. It is your signatures and your sort of like your IR signature and your EM signature and your cross-section signature and people spotting you. So if you could have hulls and you could have systems and components that make you harder to be detected through those means. So to some extent, you can make any ship more stealthy. But yes, expect more ships that might have a more stealthy element to them at their very sort of like core, like the Saber, like the Prowler, things like that. Right, what else have we got? What kind of mini games specifically have CIG considered when it comes to engineering, maintaining ships? So there's going to be repair. You're going to be able to sort of take out components, repair them, change over the subcomponents, and on larger ships and in other areas like fuse boxes or connectors between areas could blow and you need to go and weld them or interact with them somehow. There's going to be MFDs and engineering sort of consoles to allow you to potentially reroute power and stuff. We don't know to exactly what extent they've got this stuff planned, but they do want physicalized components. They do want engineering as a role on a ship. They do want you to be running around repairing things with a multi-tool and moving components out, changing components, all this sort of stuff as well. Right, have we got anything else? Given the backers essentially replace more traditional investment, and the return backers receive is the use of the game, or the use of in-game ships, how do you feel about if all backers got lifetime insurance on their ship's board? I think they should have had a cut-off period. I'm okay. So it's quite possible that all ships that are bought with money might have some sort of rough level of statutory insurance, and that might be true of all ships in games, like really base level insurance. Lifetime insurance isn't going to be that powerful. I wouldn't mind if all players that bought a ship had lifetime insurance on it. I really wouldn't care. How stealthy do you think the Mercury will end up being? Moderately stealthy. It depends on how you manage the systems. I think it will have the ability to be pretty damn stealthy. Going back to the lifetime insurance question, obviously they couldn't give everyone's ships lifetime insurance in the same way they've said lifetime insurance, because that would cause people to be like, well, you've broken a promise. You said lifetime insurance for these ships. That's the reason people bought them. You see what I mean? But expect insurance to, lifetime insurance especially, to only cover the hull of the ship, but you're going to want to pay for more insurance to cover your components. I suspect in a huge amount of cases that the components on your ship, especially when you've upgraded them to like military A class, are going to be worth many times the value of your ship when combined. Thanks. I was wondering if there was some specific mini games they have in mind for that kind of thing. Yeah, they have mini games in mind and gameplay to it, but I'm not exactly sure what they will take the form of. You might not know this one, but if you were able to get your hands on ships like the Vandal, Tomahawk, etc., we don't know whether we're able to convert them for human use. They've talked about some ships, like Vandal ships especially, I think they self-detonate or something when you try and when you take out the crew or something. I would expect you'll be able to salvage them. I'm not sure if you'll be able to capture all Vandal ships. We'll have to wait and see. I would like it in the future. That would be fucking great. In fact, that's one of the things that I want to do in my Org Nomad Black, is try and capture ships in a semi-legal fashion. It will be a lawful org. It will just sort of like be a slightly disenfranchised with UEE lawful org. When do I expect the Hull C? I mean, they could get it in this year if they get the cargo updates in. When launching the Freelancer Max, the ship leaps nose down like the ship is way off balance. I believe it's a known bug. True or false? Thanks. I don't know that particular bug. I would expect it to be fixed in 3.9. It makes it rear heavy when taking it. Okay, makes sense. Right. Right. Question, is there an update to ship ECM and Death Armors? You will see updates to ship emissions, ship systems. I mean, they're working on the version 2 of Power again. They've opened that back up. There is a concerted effort to have like scanning and emissions and passive detection all worked on, which will in turn have stealth gameplay much more appropriate. Have you made your org yet? If so, is it active? It's not active. It is made, but it's not active. BoredGamer org is the org I would recommend people join if they want to join in BoredGamer social gameplay when we start doing it. We will start doing it. I want to do it for 3.8. I want to do it for the last like 3 major patches actually, but it's just hard to organize and run. And one of the things that Zinn will be doing for me is organizing those community events for us, getting like key people in sort of helping organize that. But also we'll have Theatres of War soon as well, so we'll better play that quite easily and just jump in and play. What is one of the biggest gameplay features that we will be getting this year? The Pyro system, potentially full persistence. I would hope to see salvage on the roadmap. The dynamic mission and system and the economy is something else I'd hope to see. It's quite a lot that potentially might be. We'll have to wait and see what we've got on the roadmap for 4.1 when that roadmap comes out. Let me just make sure that it's not out yet. Yeah, I'm very, very much looking forward to that. We've got limited resources in 3.9 as well now coming online, so you'll literally be able to mine an area bare of material and it won't spawn there anymore, which is kind of cool. That will have people moving around and interesting sort of conflict happening. Some very lucrative zones for a couple of days happening, sort of like emergently. So I'm very much looking forward to that. Sorry from English. Don't worry about it. It's all good. Sometimes I might make a comment of, you make question bad. But just if you can bear with me doing that sometimes, or going, I don't know what you were saying. Don't worry about it too much. Are the Vandal the only aggressive aliens that we have major conflict with? Yeah, the humans and the Vandal, typically, yes. There's sort of like a slightly odd, potentially like Cold War with the Xi'an. Obviously, there is still conflict with the Xi'an, the Banu, as well. I think the Tavaran are pretty assimilated into the UEE. However, there's probably some Tavaran pirates. What's holding missiles back? So general combat experience, updates to the combat model in general. I think they're redoing the derpy IFCS system that they have as well. Do you think they will make it so we can blow up turrets on larger ships and kill whoever's manning them instead of blowing up the whole ship, killing the crew? Yes. Physicalized components and the physical damage system is going to have ships less explodey. They're not going to have artificial health pools. It's going to be usually you damaging the components on board the ship, causing damage to the ship and then disabling it rather than blowing it up. Typically, sometimes it will blow up if like a power plant or something, or an engine goes critical or something as you take it out. So turrets, especially, they're going to be destroyable individually, and they're going to be entry points when you do destroy them as well into a lot of ships. So that's one of the ways you might be boarding. At what rate do you think CIG will release new systems, and how many systems do you believe they're going to be in the final release? Final release in 10 years' time, when they've got all the systems they want in, 120 plus. They've got 120 on paper they want to do at the moment. But I'm not sure at what rate they're going to be getting them out. I know they're about to get them out a lot quicker from this year onwards. So we will see the Pyro system this year. At least that's the plan. And then I'd love to see a couple of systems a year for the next couple of years. And then them try and get a handful or so out for like initial release of Star Citizen. That would be fucking cool. But there's going to be years and years of work on Star Citizen. And rightly so. Jag Hiroshi, I say, Jag, thank you very much for the bits. Very much appreciated. 1 vanilla latte. Appreciate it. I will grab... what I'll do is after the stream, which I will stop in a second, I will grab probably a scoop of ice cream from Deliveroo and a coffee. I need sugar so fucking bad. I had half a bottle of red wine, my favourite red wine, which was my last bottle of red wine, of my favourite one. It was a Negromano. I'm really into Negromano as a grape for wine at the moment. Oh, delicious. Very, very relaxed, very easy drinking. And I get it from this guy who's known as Super Mario, the vineyard. Sans Marino. He's known as Super Mario. And he makes really... The vineyard makes great wine. He's a fucking genius. What else have we got? Regarding lifetime insurance, my concern is if someone backs for a large ship without lifetime insurance, they lose it. And then it's possible that there might be statutory insurance on that ship to a very low level, so you'd have to pay like a good portion of the ship's value to get it back, but you don't really technically lose it, or you get it back, but over a huge period, like a month. You have to wait a month before you get it back, or something like that. Do you see what I mean? We'll have to wait and see. Like, I would recommend people get everything in game anyway. Like, the huge ships, you have to have a huge disposable income and want to support the game to really chuck that money at the game. Do you know what I mean? Isn't there a hidden race with something starting with a K? Yeah, so the Kurthak, they are on the other side of Xi'an territory. They had a war with the Xi'an called the Spirit Wars. I think Sherry Habeg, she teased them the other day saying, oh, the Kurthak look like redacted. I was like, oh, okay. Serious question, do you think it sucks that the Mercury has 2 size 3 fixed guns? Opinion on that? It might change in the future. We'll have to see how that's implemented and what exactly it can do, but it will get balanced for its intended role. BoredGamer doesn't get a chance to... Warbond can only be purchased with new money. Yeah, Warbond can only be purchased with new money, whereas you can use store credit from melting. Okay, yeah. Someone's okay. Thanks, J-Bad. I'm not sure what that question that was. I didn't see it. My bad. Right. Any other questions before I dash? Gigantic ships eating entire asteroid belts. Yes, I would expect the Orion to be a big strip miner able to munch through large sections of asteroid belts. It's taken us humans a couple of 100 years to mine out most of the fossil fuels. How can CIG justify whole areas becoming barren in a week? So, this is going to be on certain planets for certain things, for certain types of materials. And it's not just going to be like, oh, in the short term, that's probably how it's going to work in the persistent universe. But that will change over time, and suspect, like, especially new asteroid fields that you find in the future of the Fool's Games release, they might last many months. But when they're found, there could be hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of NPCs also going there to mine those things with the quanta system. So bear that in mind. And it's probably going to be the rarer materials that are going to run out pretty quickly. Like, you know, gold. There's a very small amount of gold on our entire planet. Right. Any other questions? Do you think the torpedo on the Polaris will actually be dumbfire torpedo or torpedo that actively tracks? It will actively track. They're going to be big and slow, though. Or at least big. Or do you think that CIG should focus on finishing these ships that were on the roadmap and then vanished instead of making new huge ships like the Hercules, just to name this one? And the Hercules was on the roadmap as well. So they moved it off. They have shifting priorities for some reasons. I would like to see them, when they put something on the roadmap, they prioritize it. That's what I'd like to see. There might be reasons that they move stuff around. I'm not sure why there are changing priorities to the extent there have been in the past, but I would hope that the roadmaps now are more stable this year, from this year onwards. I think they cause a lot of disappointment. I find them really useful still, but as I said, we'll have to wait and see with that. Star Runner should be flight ready and in game by the end of 2020. Yeah, they said for 4.1 is the hope. So Q3 2020 / CitizenCon 10th of October potentially. Right. Yes, right. So, thank you so much to Sergeant 3VV RS Man for donating 100 subs to the stream. That's very much appreciated. Thank you very much to Robert Johnston for chucking me $100, you madman. People are crazy. Jag, thank you very much for the bits. There's Bill, the Thea's Bill. You've got numbers in your name. My brain can't work it out today. Secbomb, that's your new name. Thank you very much for the sec. Job, thank you. Everyone that's subprimed as well. Bardnot. You mean I probably said your names, right? What else have we got? Oh my god. You monsters. You monsters. Oh my god. Thank you very much, Saurus, for the raid. Very much appreciated. Raging Sage, thank you very much for the sub. Thank you very much, Sergeant 3V RSman, for subbing yourself. Shite, thank you very much for the monies. Robert Johnston, thank you very much for the other monies. Windlord, thank you very much. Face love, appreciated. Zach plus Chaskowski. Zach, thank you very much for the bits. Very much appreciated. Oh, thank you very much, guys. Very much appreciated. Right, so over the weekend, we'll check out the 4.1 roadmap, assuming it's gone live. Any other Star Citizen news? Whatever's happening with the PTU. Hopefully they've got some updates to the 3.8.2. And we'll get all that stuff out. Please check out my latest video. I hope that's interesting for some of you. It's obviously got a lot of ship updates in it with the Cutlass Blue and the Hercules Starlifter and the Carrack. Coming in 3.8.2 by the end of the month. Woo! I could get it for this weekend, although for either Cardi or something, but I would expect it more likely next weekend. I'm going to have intermittent videos from Friday to Sunday because I am going up to Manchester to see Baby Metal. But yeah. Do you think CIG will allocate the resources correctly in terms of Star Citizen compared to Squadron 42? It's a weird one. They're focusing on Squadron 42. That might be the correct decision. Probably is. That means they get more of the core of the game complete in the shorter term. And hopefully we'll see a great Squadron 42 product because of that. Obviously it will aid them massively financially doing that way as well. We'll have to wait and see whether that's the correct choice. Obviously we'll get a bit more work on the persistent universe as a focus after Squadron 42 episode 1's been released. Obviously there is another episode 2 and episode 3 that they want to get done in the future as well. What else? Question: to $5 upgrades from Terrapin to Mercury Star Runner or not? Yes, I think the Terrapin is massively overpriced, but I think the Mercury Star Runner is a good shout as an upgrade. That's my personal opinion, and you asked for it. There's only about 30 people actively working on Star Citizen and Squadron 42 is the main focus of CRG. 30 people from the... Isn't it like 15? That might just be on the ship's team. There's quite a lot of people working on Star Citizen as well, actively. Right. I am going to dash off. When I melt my Freelancer Max and upgrade my game package 300i and buy a Star Runner, with that I get a Freelancer and Herald. Do I get a Hornet or Buccaneer as well? Okay, so let me link you the ship loaner page, buddy. I've got a ship tracker, haven't I? Website. So on my website, let me show you. On my website, you can find load of resources stuff. You can also find the links to like ship loaners and common ones. Bam. Ship loaner, that will tell you what ships you get, and it's updated regularly for whatever. You know what I mean? It is a war I'm looking forward to as well. But thank you very much for everyone for joining me for the stream, for chucking a load of money at me, for raiding me, for being amazing. Board, do you know I can find... Board, do you know I can find up-to-date info on how many devs are working on Star Citizen and Squadron 42 at the moment? No, because I've looked for such information. I believe it was 15 to 20 working specifically on ships for Star Citizen, and the rest of the ships guys are working on environments and ships for Squadron 42. And I think there's 550 to 600 employees at CIG currently. But some of those are janitors and administration staff and not devs. I'll try and get a breakdown again. I did request from CIG, but they were unable to provide me one. Maybe I'll say I'm writing an article or give it a very specific purpose, and they're about to help me out. Let me just double check, make sure I haven't missed any amazing questions. What ship concept or not do you find the most attractive? I do love the Reclaimer. I do love the Carrack. Penny Merchant's cool. But there's loads. I mean, there's loads. I could go on for a while and just keep on thinking, oh, actually, I like that. Or and stuff like that. I mean, I love the Sabre as well. Anyway, Gib Star Runner, Gibbening Carrack. We'll watch my videos over the weekend. I love your faces. You're the best. Kisses. Oh, we'll go host someone. We'll host someone. Twitch. But I'm much happier this week than I was last week with the video content from CIG. But there still needs to be more. I think we're all agreed. There needs to. Well, I'm agreed. There needs to be more video content from CIG. Right. Happy Valentine's Day. Hope you have a good time. Being single or being in a couple or being in whatever sort of relationship you're in. I am going to /raid Detox because I love his face. You go visit that boy soon. I'm going to go here. Oh, I'm going to go here. So feel free to watch this boy here. Thank you very much. If anyone's got any other questions they'd like to ask me, you can get me at contact@boredgamer.co.uk. You can join my Discord, discord.gg/boredgameruk. Feel free to check my question there. Lots of stuff planned for the next few weeks, but I'm really lazy and this stuff happens. We're looking forward to next week's resolution of the Crytek lawsuit, hopefully. I'll see if I can get as much information on that as I can. And if people want to further support the stream and my YouTube channel and stuff, there are links below. There's donation links, there's Patreon, there's YouTube members. Any of that stuff really helps, as does just sharing and liking my videos, subscribing to the channel, giving feedback to any extent. It really helps. Thank you so much for being part of my community. Thank you so much for watching my stuff. You guys take care. Have a wonderful weekend, and I'll talk to you soon. Peace. Peace. Not cringy at all.